royalty is a legally binding payment made to an individual or company for the ongoing use of their assets, including copyrighted works, franchises, and natural resources. An example of royalties would be a payment received by musicians when their song is played. So it's sort of like, for me, it falls up under that as the mortgage asset is exempted from a lot of people and will be for me and all that, so should some of my royalties, majority, if not all of the royalties, that if I do end up receiving. Because I haven't even got my mortgage yet. I'm still on the risk of homelessness. I have no money saved or anything like that. So these royalties are going to go towards my savings to be able to be secure as a disabled person. Without these security royalties be exempted, I would be on the risk of just homelessness and be nothing, and it would hurt. It would be horrible. And that's why I believe that those assets should be exempted. Much like they're way less than a mortgage. Way less. We're talking virtually. It's a completely different thing. The royalties compared to a mortgage exemption under ODSP. But the royalties are an asset. Similar to like what a mortgage is, it's a personal asset that somebody has acquired through their works or whatever. And it doesn't always pay, not to a consistent level. Maybe every 4 months or 6 months you'll get, but it's still way under any limit. You're still a poor person. You're still, even being a person with royalties, I'm still considered very in poverty. I'm still on risk of homelessness with my apartment. If any little thing hit my life, I would go homeless. I don't have any money. I get my ODSP amount every month, but I want to stay in my apartment and be able to control my diseases and all that. And he is being able to do that with his income support. But then slowly and surely I'm going to get these royalties or whatever. So it's my duty to prove and try to explain why somebody that does every once in a while get a royalty like me, that it should be exempted, because it's like sort of an asset. It's something that in the United States and all that, and in the United Kingdom, it's something that somebody acquires, whether they write music, a book. There's all different ways to gain royalties. So you may get your pension, but then you can also get your royalties exempted. You won't have to fear of any, at least you just won't have to fear of any persecutions or anything. You'll still receive your pension. You'll still be able to save money and be like a normal person. I could barely afford food. And if I don't have my royalties, then I definitely would not be able to afford. I would go starving. I would die. I'd be in the hospital maybe, even on ODSP. Because I'm supposed to have the diet. I'm really supposed to be on 1750 because I have a human body inside my stomach. And when I went to go get, it was a long process. I went to the hospital to get ultrasound. They never got around to ultrasounding my stomach to prove I have a human in my stomach. That should be considered for 2 times 2 ODSP. I have a special cancer that requires extra food and all that. Anyways, he's figuring it out with the royalties. The only thing I can do is beg that they will exempt my royalties and stuff like that, so I'll be able to afford food, save money, be able to start making like stock market or something investments, save my money, get a mortgage. And then the mortgages, everybody knows mortgages are exempted on ODSP. That one's already being clarified. If you are one of those ones that have gotten somebody has either gave you the money to get a mortgage where you made the down payment already, it was grandfathered or grandmothered in, or you got it from family, the house, or if you managed to get something in order to save the money to get it, they're saying yes, you could be considered to be exempted, personally exempted. Since you're 1 in a million, they say they don't really have the resources to make it a big publicity thing. So that's why you see it on my video. But when it comes to the special exemptions as the individual in Canada, yeah, your royalties could be exempted. so that you can become a person here in Canada and save your money and have food and survive. And basically, that's all he's at right now. And maybe eventually it'll start stacking up to where he'll be able to make like some of those, like when TD Bank and all that, they're releasing all these trade and all that. So one day they're saying maybe you could be able to do the easy trade and all that, and be able to have like stock in certain commodities and all that that you want to have, and be able to start saving your money and have $10,000 or $5,000, because you're allowed to have 40,000 in your account before you get your mortgage and all that. And he has nowhere near that. But I just want to make sure that I won't hear anything that's going to harass me, because it's understood that Tom is nowhere near that and that he's working his way up. And maybe one day when he's older, because time goes quick, he'll be able to be somebody that has a lot of money in the bank. What I would consider a lot of money, but to the true banks, it's not a lot of money. It's very insignificant. It's a handicapped person that has some royalties and that might get a mortgage, that gets his ODSP or get their ODSP. There's people that have millions in their bank, millions. I know people, everybody, like the majority of people, they have millions or hundreds of thousands, or tens or 20s or 30s or 50s of thousands. They don't, that's the majority of people. They have millions. I've met the people. It's not the majority is on ODSP. That's the less the majority is on ODSP disabled. The majority is paying taxes and all that and all that, and they have millions and all that, with their big homes and their big $1 million mortgages and all that. So that's what some people don't understand. They think the majority of people are on ODSP, when actually no, the majority of people are wealthy, and it's the less majority that have to collect the assistances.